Hi, I'm Jon Cohen. I'm a staff writer with Science magazine, and I've covered the HIV/AIDS epidemic for Science since 1990. Today we're in the Castro in San Francisco, and this is the heart of the gay community in San Francisco, and one of the first places to be really hard hit by the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And we're here as part of a project that's looking at ending AIDS in many places around the world. San Francisco is at the vanguard of the ending AIDS movement. It has a blueprint. It has a commission called Getting to Zero. And today we've been meeting with people who are at the forefront of getting that program off the ground. We'll also be looking at New York State, which is much larger than San Francisco. San Francisco has about 15,000 infected people. New York State has almost 10 times as many infected people. So its problem is very different. And we'll also look at Atlanta in the United States, which is in the heart of the Deep South. And that's the hardest hit part of the country right now, and it's largely in young African American men. And they're just starting to get ending AIDS program off the ground in one part of the city of Atlanta. We'll then go to Africa and look at different countries there and how they're addressing their epidemics with the same tools that are being used here. So we'll go to Kenya, where a program run by people from the University of California in San Francisco, a few blocks away from here, are trying to adopt some of the things they've learned here to a fishing community in Kenya. We'll also go to Rwanda, which has had an incredibly good, strong response to its AIDS epidemic. And then we'll move on to South Africa and Lesotho and examine how South Africa, which is the hardest hit country in the world, 5.6 million estimated infected people, addresses this overwhelming problem, again with the same tools. What are the tools? We know that if you take your antiretroviral drugs every day, the level of virus is going to go down in your body to such low levels that you're very unlikely to infect someone else. And of course, it's also going to benefit your own health. That's the foundation of this ending AIDS movement. We also know that people who take antiretroviral drugs who are not infected, just like people take anti-malarial medication who are traveling to a malarial area, can prevent HIV from infecting them. So that's called PrEP. And a third pillar of this is we know that people who start treatment often fall out of treatment. And so there are aggressive attempts in all these places to get people back onto treatment who've started, both for their own good and for the community. One of the more exciting things to me as a journalist is we're combining different organizations with different types of media to tell these stories. PBS NewsHour is doing the video component, Science magazine is doing print magazine, and we have an online component as well. UCTV is doing a video component, both webcast and broadcast, and BuzzFeed, the online magazine, is doing another online presence. And I think all these audiences are going to mix and bring people to different forms of storytelling that they otherwise might not find.